I mean, I think we tried to not play 59 sound, I think once.
Yeah.
And
pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah. And even though and we talked about it and it was like, yeah, okay. Yeah. We're a little tired of playing the 59 sound. We got to play the 59 sound. And it's for the same reason we talked about earlier is people paid for a ticket to see the show and they want to see the songs that they love the most. And
yeah.
And I know it takes sometimes when you're young or too full of yourself or too full of the situation, you forget that you're you need those fucking people out there to do what you do. And if you just want to go out there and play everything you want to play, you're going to disappoint a lot of people. And that's not what a show is about. A show is about this give and take between the two sides. So I think what Eddie Vedder said is right. It's you got to play some of the mainstays and maybe you can figure out ways to do it that are a little more interesting and try them in different approaches or something. I noticed, when we covered State of Love and Trust, any live version of State of Love and Trust is so fucking fast. It's twice the speed of the cover.
Super
and
fast.
I had to make a choice when we covered it. I'm I'm going closer to singles than their live version because that is a ripper and I want to savor the song a little bit. So
right.
I think that's what it's about. But I mean, all in all, I think you got to create this balance of everyone having fun because it's mutually beneficial. If you're excited about the music and the songs, it's better for the audience. And if the audience is excited, it's obviously way better for you. But I think that does take some time to figure out not only how to construct sets like that, but also you kind of got to do some weird version of market research. You got to play a song for 2 weeks and see if anyone gives a fuck about it and what the reaction is like. And then that dictates what that song is moving forward. I think that's why when bands put out new records, why some of the sets are sometimes kind of awkward because you almost have to relearn how to play a song after you record an album. When you finish the album version, it sits there. It usually got done 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, and maybe you did some stuff in the studio that wasn't quite like you were doing. So when you start coming back out with it, some songs present better live than you thought they would. Some present worse for whatever reason. A song you would think is just going to ring with the crowd is just doing nothing. You don't really know why. So yeah, I think you need that time too. And that's where Pearl Jam's got a lot of market research. They, I'm sure Eddie knows just what to pull out of his pocket to get whatever audience going, I saw Snoop Dogg do that once. It was one of the most impressive things I've seen in a music festival. Snoop Dogg was we were playing a giant festival in Belgium. And inexplicably, Snoop Dogg was about to go on at 12:30 in the afternoon. And it was because he took 2 festivals in a day to just get paid. So he was doing this 12:30 in Belgium and then going for a headliner in France or something, which was awesome to begin with. And, but he pulled out all the stuff. There's 20 people on stage. There's the blunt man. There's the old man just dancing, doing backups. It was a total scene. But it's Belgium at 12:30 in the afternoon. You can imagine it's a sea of undrunk white people, so even though they're having fun, it's not really. And I was watching Side Stage and I saw Snoop come over to the side. He talked to someone. He talked to a DJ. And 10 seconds later, fucking Jump Around by House of Pain comes on. And for a minute, Snoop just dances around the Jump Around. Crowd starts going ape shit because I guess that's undrunk white people catnip. And and then all of a sudden the show was lit. And I was oh my God, Snoop Dogg, the fucking puppet master. He's a genius.
He just knew. He knew what song to play.
Just what to do. And so I think you get savvy, they get savvy over the years. Or in Gaslight's case, we covered this one Stone Temple Pilots song once and we knew it was a reach because it was like one of the pop Stone Temple Pilots songs. But we love this song. Everyone hears this song on the radio. They'll love it. It fucking bombed like
Wow.
two
Really?
Oh.
Wow.
And even though we enjoyed playing it, we're like, all right, out of the rotation, you know?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Oh man, it's so cool to hear it from your perspective, because us as fans, I'm like, well, for me personally, when we were talking about Pearl Jam, like I would just play all the deepest cuts possible. But to your point, it doesn't transcend that way live.
Yeah.
Always.
It just doesn't always work.
It's just not the case. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not reality. And bands who do that usually suffer, I think, honestly.
Yeah. It's not Fugazi. You can't just be Fugazi.
Right. Fugazi can be Fugazi.
Yeah.
I mean, on a super small scale, even this podcast, like if we know that if we talk about Tool, everyone's going to love it. But if we did a Dead Guy episode, it just, no one would, our audience wouldn't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to.
You got to pepper it in. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Find the bits and pieces to put in, but don't do a whole hour and a half on it.
I got to do that on my podcast too. I get it.